roller, and we're just going to use it to stretch out, roll out, and just restore our body for the upcoming holiday. It is Thanksgiving tomorrow, so happy Thanksgiving, everybody. So we're going to start with our legs in our mermaid or merman position. So they're in that zigzag shape. If you want to mirror me, they're going to be over to your right. Foam roller is going to be at our side, your hand resting on top of it. We're going to take an inhale, lift our right arm up. And as you exhale, we're going to do a side bend. You're going to allow the foam roller to roll up your forearm. Now our goal whenever we do a side bend, we want to anchor down through the hip that we're going away from. Really stretch that top arm over. And then we're going to come right back up, and you'll just roll that foam roller back onto your hand. Let's do that again. Exhale. Big side bend. Inhale, coming back up. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. It's just opening up that right side of the body. 1 more time. Exhale. We're going to stay and just rotate towards the foam roller. You could place your outside hand, so it would be your right hand on the foam roller, and just pause for a moment. Shoulders down, and just a nice twist through our spine. Deep breaths in and out. Now we're going to go ahead and come back to our side bend, so kind of opening up, reaching through our top arm, and then we'll come all the way back up. We're going to make it a little more complicated, so we're going to exhale, go up and over, and then you're going to rotate towards the foam roller, placing both hands on it nice and wide. You're going to roll it away, only as far as you can keep your left hip or your right hip pulled back, and then roll it in. It is okay if your left arm doesn't straighten all the way. Big twist. Pull it in. Let's do that 2 more times. So really feeling that stretch through the spine as we press the foam roller away. 1 more time. We're going to keep the arms straight. Start to lift the heart and the head. Roll that foam roller up onto your fingertips. And we're going to lift our heart up a little bit so we get that really nice stretch in the left obliques and into the hip. Now draw chin and chest, and you're going to round the spine, so kind of sit back into your right hip as you roll the foam roller away. We're going to do that again. Inhale, coming up, lifting the heart. You come up onto the fingertips on the foam roller. Exhale, push it away. Big stretches through the spine. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, push it away. Last one here. Inhale, up. Exhale, push it away. Now we're going to stay out. You're going to take your left hand if you're mirroring me, slide it to the middle of the foam roller, and then roll back into your side bend. And then as we lift, the foam roller will roll back to our hand. We're going to switch arms at the top and do a counter stretch to our right. Good, we're going to come all the way back up. Just grab that foam roller, kind of rotate towards it, but this time keep our heart lifted. So we're lifting. You can put the foam roller on the palms or the fingertips, whatever feels better for you. We're going to take our back leg, we're going to extend it back, and then exhale, pull it in. Inhale, reach it out. So as you reach it out, you'll notice that big stretch in the left obliques. Inhale, a little bit of work through our glutes. Exhale, 1 more time. Inhale, exhale. We're going to place our hand on the floor on outside of the barrel. Push the hips up and forward. Take a big side bend. And hips go back and down. Do that 2 more times. Really open up the hip flexor. On the right. 1 more time. Inhale, big stretch up and over. Exhale, coming down. We're going to go ahead and switch our foam roller and our legs to do everything on the other side so we can balance out our bodies. So bringing your foam roller towards your body, you're going to rest your right hand on it, your elbows bent at your side. Your legs are in that zigzag shape. Take an inhale, lift your left arm, and as we do our side bend, we're not only anchoring down through our left hip, but you're going to allow the foam roller to roll up your forearm. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, up and over. Just think about changing the shape of your spine. Big stretch. Inhale up. Try not to bend your top elbow, so really stretch through that arm. It's gonna help you lengthen out that left side more. One more time, everybody. All the way up and over. And coming back up. Now we're gonna add our little twist. So go ahead and roll it out, do your side bend, and we're just gonna rotate towards the floor. You can touch the foam roller with your left hand, round the spine, shoulders down. Just feel that big twist and stretch through the middle part of the spine. Let your head be heavy. Kind of breathe into the twist one more time. Now we're going to roll back into our side bend. Really stretch through your top arm. Come all the way back up. We're going to make it more complicated. So we're going to exhale, go up and over. Rotate towards the foam roller, placing your left hand on it. Then you're going to slide that right hand over so you're nice and wide on the foam roller. Think about rounding your spine and sitting back towards the left hip. You're going to roll the foam roller in. Now push it out. 1. Exhale. Inhale. 2. It is okay if your right elbow doesn't straighten all the way. Like my right elbow does not straighten all the way when I push out, but my left one does. So my front arm straightens all the way, my back one doesn't just because of the twist in my spine. 2 more. 1 more, we're gonna press out, stay. Now go ahead and start to lift your heart up. You'll roll the foam roller up onto your fingertips. You can adjust it if needed. Lift your heart. Big stretch through our right obliques. Now draw chin and chest. You're gonna push it away as you sit back and round the spine towards your left hip. Inhale, coming up. So, be careful because sometimes what will want to happen is this, where you'll push it away and all of a sudden this hip is off and now you're lengthened out. So you want to anchor into this hip when you push away. So your body is staying at the base of your body. So it's going to stay anchored into the pelvis area. 1 more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, push. Now just slide your back arm in so the foam roller's back on your forearm. Open back up into your side bend, pulling this hip back, and then we'll come all the way up. Lower the arm. We're going to switch arms, do a counter stretch. And then we're going to come back to center, keeping your heart lifted. Rotate to the foam roller. Bring your hands onto it. Collarbones wide, shoulders down. Now you're just going to hold it here. We're going to extend our back leg. Reach through it. You're going to feel this big stretch here in your right obliques, and then pull that leg back in. And again, we're going to stretch it back. So a little bit of glute work. Pull it back in. 2 more times. Reach it back. Pull it in. 1 more time. Reach it out. And pull it in. We're going to go ahead and rotate to center. Take your right hand onto the floor on the other side of the barrel. Push your hips up and forward so we get that nice stretch through our right hip flexor, or left hip flexor if you're mirroring me. So inhale up, big stretch, push those hips forward. Exhale down, 2 more times, inhaling up. Exhaling down. 1 more time, inhaling up. Exhaling down. All right, everybody, we're going to turn our foam roller lengthwise. We're going to sit on one of the edges and then lie back onto it. You can kind of use your arms to get onto it. You want to be in a position where your tail and your head is on the foam roller. So we're just going to be here for a moment. Find your balance. Back of the ribs on the mat, or on the foam roller rather. So you're going to draw the ribs down so you feel that, because it's real easy to just relax and arch your back here. So you have a little bit of abdominal engagement. We're going to just let our spine lengthen along the foam roller. Tailbone in neutral, so you will still have a space at the lumbar spine, but the rest of your spine, except for a little space at the lumbar spine and the cervical spine, is on the foam roller. And this should honestly just feel good. I just love laying on it sometimes because it helps just connect, because it's so pinpointed onto the spine. It just feels restorative. Couple more deep breaths in and out. We're going to bring our arms up to the ceiling and then take your arms out to the side. It's okay if your hands do not touch the floor. You're just gonna pause, pull the shoulders back, make sure again the back of the ribs are on the mat. You might even feel a little stretch in the pecs, the biceps, and if you don't feel that, you might feel a little stretch in your nerves. So you get that little tingly feeling through the hand. A couple deep breaths in and out. Make sure there's no tension to your neck, shoulders, and face. We're going to take those arms, start to slide them overhead without allowing the backs of the ribs to come off the foam roller. So the hands might lift up a little bit, and that is okay. Shoulders down. We're keeping the ribs down. We're keeping our spine connected to the foam roller. Big stretch. Now we're just going to bring our arms back up, palms face inward. Now we're going to do a little arm scissor series. So as one arm goes down, the other arm's going to go up. And the same thing goes. You want to keep the back of the ribs on the mat. You want to resist the foam roller rolling around. We're going to do 2 pulses away. So the arms go down to the floor 2 times, and then we bring them back up. Switching sides, inhale, 2 pulses. Exhale up. Inhale, reach them away, 2 pulses. And you will feel this challenge your balance because we're so pinpointed onto that barrel. Making sure when you do your pulses, there's no shifting in your torso. Let's do 3 more rounds. 2 more. 1 more. We're going to bring our arms back to center. We're going to take some circles. So the arms are going to go overhead, out to the side, towards our knees, and lift back overhead. Now remember, because we are up on a barrel, a foam roller, you're going to resist your arms dropping behind your body when you open to the side. If you do that, you will feel the abdominals and the upper part of the abs release, and you'll feel your back arch off the mat. So we want to maintain that shoulder stability as we do our circles. 1 more time. Bringing our arms back to center, let's reverse our circles. Arms go down. Remember, as you open to the side, your arms are staying in front of your body or at least at body level. You're resisting the arms dropping behind you. Inhale for half your circle. Exhale for the other half. 2 more times. If you tend to flare your ribs, you might start to feel a little bit of work through the middle part of your spine because you're keeping it against the barrel. 1 more time. We're going to circle our arms back up to the ceiling, lace your fingers together, and turn your hands inside out. Big stretch here. We're going to bend the elbows, turn your hands inside, make a prayer position. Open your fingertips so that your wrists are together, and then you're going to drop your fingertips down to the floor. Keep your fingertips flexed back. And you're going to feel that big stretch in your radial nerve again. So you're going to get maybe a little tingling in your palm. Now I know we have the floor here, so if you pick your arms up just in a little hover, you're going to start to rock to one side. So you'll feel the foam roller kind of rock to the left side of your spine or right side. And then you're going to rock to the other side. It's a very small movement. And as you're rocking, think about pulling those fingertips onto the floor and your fingertips kind of press back more as you rock to this side. Just be gentle. It is a very small rocking motion. So as I bring my weight to my right, I feel the foam roller kind of go a little bit to the left side of my spine and then vice versa. And I'm allowing my middle finger's longer than the rest of them, to kind of come onto the floor, and then the weight is like pulling that finger back more. So you guys just kind of do with what feels good for your body. We'll do 2 more. We're going to come back to center, bring those hands together. Ooh, turn those hands inside out. Deep breath in. You're going to walk your feet out away from you. So you have a little bit of weight in the legs. The arms are going to float down towards your hips, draw chin and chest, curl the head and shoulders off the barrel. Now lengthen your tailbone so you're going into imprint, and then I want you to roll up as slow as you can. If you need to grab the backs of the legs, you can. We're going to come all the way up as long as it doesn't hurt your tailbone. Try to sit up nice and tall. And then you're going to scoop and roll back down as slow as you can and right through the center of your spine. We're going to do that 2 more times. Arms float down, drop chin and chest, lengthen the tailbone to the heel. We're going to slowly come up. So you got to go real slow on the barrel so you keep your balance. Try to stack shoulders over hips. I know my barrel's tipping up a little bit. And then scoop and roll back. Right through the center of your spine. So you really feel a lot of ab work as we go back. We're just lengthening the spine on the barrel again. 1 more time. Stack the spine. 1 more roll down. Nice and slow. And then 1 more roll up to end. Go ahead and sit to the side. You're going to turn your foam roller horizontal across your mat. And we're going to lie down on it. You want the foam roller about at the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. Feet anchored to the floor. Tailbone heavy. We're going to bring our hands behind the head at the base of your skull. So you can just let your head rest in your arms. We're going to allow our upper body to take the shape of the foam roller. So you're going to go into a passive extension. We're going to hang out here for just a moment. Again, let your head rest in your hands. Tailbone heavy. Deep breaths in and out. As you inhale, you can feel the front of your ribs expand. Exhale. Deepen that extension. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now this is pretty intense, so we're going to slowly start to lift our head with our hands. And you're going to come up and just curl. Gently sink your spine to the floor. So now we're stretching out those muscles that were in a passive extension. And then we're going to grab the backs of the legs, and we're going to use our hands to pull ourselves up. Grab the foam roller, and we're going to lie down. Lift your hips up, and you're going to place the foam roller under your sacrum. So your sacrum is right above your bottom and right below the lumbar spine, the low spine. So it's going to be on that bony point right above your bottom. Make sure it's not too high. We don't want it on the low back. Make sure it's not too low. It should not be resting on your glutes, but rather right above them. You're going to grab the outsides of the barrel, and you can make sure it's kind of even. Now having our hips up, our body automatically wants to kind of arch off the mat like that. So you're going to melt the ribs down and soften through your heart. So you'll feel the upper middle part of the back against the floor. And then we're going to bring both legs to tabletop. When you bring your legs to tabletop, because of the weight of the legs, make sure you don't arch or flare your ribs rather. So the back parts of the upper middle back is against the mat still. So our heart is still soft. The tendency is to want to arch like that. So you're still connecting bottom of the ribs and the hips. Now we're going to do little toe taps here. So just to kind of open up the hip joint. Right toe is going to tap the mat. You're going to bring the knee back up. And then left. Now we're resisting any shifting. Keeping the heart soft. And we're just getting this nice little opening through the hip flexor. Inhale and exhale. This should feel good. We're basically trying to stay neutral. We're just moving the hip joint. Now we're going to do a toe tap with the right leg. And you're going to slide the foot along the floor to straighten the leg. Once it's straight, it will be off the floor. Make sure the ribs are still down. You're going to take that left leg high. We're going to switch with straight legs. And then you're going to bend your left knee, bringing the toes onto the mat. You're going to slide the foot along the mat to bring the leg up to tabletop again. And then bend your right knee. All right, toe tap on the left. Open up that hip joint. Now we're going to open it more so the ribs stay down. You slide that foot along the mat until the leg is straight. Good, so we get that opening again. It's deeper. Take the right leg high, big stretch. Now switch the legs. Stretch the tops of the feet. Now bend your right knee. Slide the leg along the mat back to tabletop. And then bend your left knee. We're going to do that again. Right toes tap. Extend the leg out. Stretch the left leg up. Scissor the legs one time. Now bend the left knee. Bring your foot along the floor. Drag it in. And then bend your right knee. Left leg does a toe tap. We slide the leg out. Big stretch through that hip flexor. See if you can lower the leg more without arching your back, and you'll feel that stretch more. Take the right leg high. Scissor the legs one time. Bend your right knee. Drag that foot in. Knee comes back to tabletop. Bend your left knee. Let's do that one more time. So right leg taps the floor. Extend it along the mat. And then lower the leg a little bit. Open up that hip more. Just make sure you don't arch your back. Stretch the left leg up. Scissor the legs one time. Bend the left knee. Foot goes onto the floor. You drag it back to tabletop. Bend your right knee. Left toe taps. Extend that leg. And again, we're going to lower the leg a little bit so we really open up that hip joint. Right leg reaches high. Switch the legs. Right toes drag along the mat. Pull that leg to tabletop. And then bend your left leg. We're just going to hug our knees in a little bit. Keep a hold of the barrel. So you're just flexing your spine. We're getting a little stretch in our lumbar spine. Couple deep breaths in and out. We're going to bring our legs back to tabletop and then take your legs straight up to the ceiling. You're going to lift your legs overhead and roll the hips off the mat until your weight's at your shoulder blades. When you reach your shoulder blades, lift the legs up a little bit. This one's a little more intense. Turn out. We're going to bend our knees and guide our knees down to our shoulders. Now you're going to roll down as slow as you can. A little bit of work through our arms until your sacrum hits the barrel. And then we're going to take our legs to tabletop and reach back up to the ceiling, legs in parallel. Let's just do that one more time. We're going to roll up so we get a nice flexion and stretch through the body. Reach the legs up. Turn out. Bend your knees. Guide your knees down to your shoulders. Now push against the barrel and you're going to roll down. So a little bit of back work here. Once your sacrum touches the barrel, bring your feet down so your legs are back in tabletop. We're going to place our feet on the mat and just let the front of the hip open for a moment. Let your hips relax on the barrel. Deep breaths in and out. We're going to lift our hips, slide the foam roller out, and soften and roll down bone by bone. I'm just going to flip my barrel to the other side. And for the next one, we're not going to use the barrel. Keeping your arms along the mat, you can walk your feet in. We're going to do a couple bridges, just not a couple, but 4. Just focus on the articulation through your spine like we did doing the roll up on the barrel. So imprinting as you exhale, you're going to peel your hips and your spine off the mat. Squeeze your glutes as hard as you can. Inhale, soften through the heart and roll back down bone by bone. Find neutral at the bottom. Again, exhale, imprint. Roll back up into your bridge. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Take an inhale. Make sure your knees are hip width apart. Soften and roll down bone by bone. 2 more times. Imprint. Exhale. Roll up into your bridge. Hold at the top. Inhale. Exhale. Soften and roll down bone by bone. One more time, imprint, roll back up into your bridge, hold at the top, squeeze your glutes, inhale. Exhale, soften and roll down, bone by bone. We're gonna bring our knees into our chest and make circles with your knees on the ceiling so you get a little massage on your sacrum where the foam roller was. And reverse. Just remember, this is a restorative class, so we move a little slower and we focus on control and stretch. We're gonna roll to one side. You're just gonna roll all the way onto your stomach, grabbing your foam roller. We're gonna do swan dive with the foam roller. This always just feels really good. You're gonna start with the foam roller out. Make sure it's on your mat or far off the floor so you don't have to roll over the edge of your mat. The arms are gonna be straight and you wanna start with the foam roller at your wrists. Legs can be turned out, hip width apart. Lengthen your tailbone to your heels and drive your shoulders down. Because our arms are up on the foam roller, resist the tendency to drop your head down. Instead, lift it up just enough where your ears are by your biceps. Your gaze will be straight down on the mat. Now we're gonna break it down. We're gonna lift the heart. Your gaze lifts up about 6 inches from where you were, and you feel the bottom of your ribs on the mat. Shoulders are down. Now we're gonna lengthen the tailbone to the heels even more. And as you lift up higher by engaging your core, the foam roller is gonna roll to your palms or your knuckles. Shoulders down, the legs are down. And now you're gonna push it away, and as you push it away, I want you to engage your core more. So it's as if you're stretching your spine out when you lower down. I'm gonna break it down one more time. We're gonna lift up, shoulders down. You feel the backs of the ribs on the mat. Lengthen the tailbone to the heels. We're gonna lift up, so your gaze can lift. Just make sure your head is following what's happening in your spine. So you're leading with your heart, not your head. And then soften and stretch and push that foam roller away. All right, we're going to smooth it out. So we're gonna inhale, coming up, putting it all together. Exhale, stretching and rolling back down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 3 more times. Inhale up. So we get a nice little massage in our internal organs. We get that nice work through the back of the body. So if you sit all day or you slouch a lot, this will be very nice for your postural muscles. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, push it away. So we're going to push ourselves into a shell stretch. So we just did a whole bunch of extensions. So we want to counteract that inflection. So shell stretch, you're going to bring your legs, your hips back over your knees. Your knees can be apart if you'd like. Arms are going to be at your side. You're just going to rest the top of your forehead on the mat. Couple deep breaths in and out here. We're going to deepen our shell stretch today by latching our fingers at our heels. Now your arms are making a circle for your spine. What I want you to do now is keep that circle, and you're going to press your spine to the ceiling. So it's hard to tell because my shirt's kind of baggy, but if you can see, I'm scooped through my abdominals. My head is heavy, and I'm deepening that flexion not only through my spine, but I'm also deepening the protraction of my shoulder blades. So I feel my shoulder blades pulling apart, and then we'll relax, forehead resting on the floor. Deep breath in. Let's do that one more time. Exhale. Push your spine through the arms. Let your head be heavy. And then rest all the way down. Unlatch your fingers. Restack your spine all the way back up against an imaginary wall. Let's move our foam roller out of the way. And we're going to go into a little hip stretch series. So hands on the mat. Knees right underneath your hips. We're going to take our left leg forward. Sink down into the front of your right hip to open up the hip flexor. Come up onto your fingertips and lift your heart. Deep breaths in and out here. Just giving that hip flexor time to open up. Remember, if it feels too deep, you can always back off. Start to push your left heel into the floor so you engage underneath the left leg and bring your hands onto the knee. So just lifting our body up, we're opening up that side on the left or the right. Left hand is going to go to the back of the right thigh, you're bracing against it, and the right arm is going to go high at a gentle back bend. We're going to cartwheel our hands down to the inside of the left foot. You're going to let your left foot fall to the side and left knee fall to the side. So you're now on the side of your left foot. You're going to feel a very deep stretch in the muscles underneath the glutes. If you want a deeper stretch, feel free to come down onto your forearms. And let's just do a few deep breaths in and out here. We're going to slowly come up onto the hands if you're on your forearms. Place that left foot flat on the mat so your knee is now looking forward. We're going to take our left arm, lift it up, and a little twist up and back towards your back leg. Stay here or feel free to bend your right knee and grab your foot to stretch your quad. Breathe. Lower that foot. If you have a hold of it, you're going to cartwheel that hand back down to the inside of your left foot, and we're going to peel our right arm up for spinal twist. You can sink deeper into your right hip. Couple deep breaths in and out. On each exhale, think about deepening your twist, so you're squeezing your spine out like a little sponge. We're going to bring that hand back down. Open up your left hand to the outside of your left foot and straighten your left leg. We're going to round our back to the ceiling like a cat stretching, and then extend it. Round, drop the crown of the head and the sit bones, and then extend, lift the crown of the head and the sit bones. One more time. We're going to extend and we're going to hold. You should feel that deepened stretch in the back of your leg. Pull that left hip back and flex the foot. We're going to slide our left leg back so we're back in our quadruped position. We're going to do a couple cats and cows. So exhale, round the spine just like we did in the hamstring stretch. Really push the shoulders apart. So you're pushing your hands on the floor. You feel those shoulders pull apart. And then inhale, we're going to extend the spine. Pull your hands towards your knees and deepen that extension. Exhale, round 2 more times. Inhale, extend. 1 more time, exhale, round. Inhale, just come to neutral. We're going to peel the right arm high. Just rotate it back up again. You're going to thread that arm underneath and rest the side of the head and the shoulder and arm onto the floor. Even the weight out in your knees and just feel that deep stretch through the right shoulder blade. Deep breaths in and out. We're going to start to pick ourselves up. Just place that hand back down. We're going to take our left arm, peel it up. And then rotate and twist, thread that arm underneath. Come down to the side of the head. Reach that arm across. Even out the weight in your knees. Deep breaths in and out. We're going to slowly pick ourselves back up. Come back onto the hands. And you're going to round your back up to the ceiling again. And then extend. Push the hands towards the knees. Now we're going to keep our hips over our knees. I almost said feet. Over your knees. And you're going to walk your hands out. So you're going to try to bring your chest as close to the floor as feels comfortable for your shoulders. So not only are we deepening the flexion in the hips, you're going to feel that work in your hip flexors, but you're deepening the extension through your body and the flexion through the shoulders. Couple deep breaths in and out. Now you're going to tuck your tail in. You're going to round your back to the ceiling. Bring your weight into your hands. So you're in a kneeling plank. And we're going to walk our hands back underneath the shoulders, back into your quadruped. So let's go ahead and do everything on the other side. We're going to take our right leg, step it forward. Sink down into the front of your left hip and just come up onto your fingertips and lift your heart for a moment. Deep breaths in and out. If it feels too deep, just back off a little bit. Push the front heel into the floor so you start to engage underneath the right leg, and we're going to bring our hands onto the knee. So again, just opening up that front of the body on the left, so you're going to feel that deeper stretch in your hip flexor. We're going to bring our right hand to the back of the left thigh so you're bracing against it. Take your left arm high and do a gentle back bend, as long as it feels okay for you. We're going to cartwheel the hands back down to the inner part of the right foot. And then let your right knee fall to the side so you're coming onto the side of your right foot. And you're going to feel this very deep stretch in the muscles here underneath the glutes. You may stay here if you want a deeper stretch. You can come onto the forearms. You might even feel a stretch in the front of the hip also. Still stretching the left hip flexor. Deep breaths in and out. Relax any gripping. And again, if it feels too deep, just back off. We're going to slowly make our way back up onto our hands if we were on our forearms, and let that foot rest on the floor. So now your knee is looking forward. We're going to take our right arm and peel it up, reach it back, shoulders back and down. Stay here. If you want to try to bend your right knee and grab the foot, you can. So you just deepen your stretch in your quad. You have your foot, gently release it, and let's cartwheel that hand back down. And then you're going to peel the left arm high, and we're going to rotate up to the ceiling. Maybe sink a little deeper into the left hip, and just a couple deep breaths in and out here. Take your time. We're going to bring that hand back down. Open up your hands to the outside of your right foot. We're going to extend our right leg. Pull the hip back. You're going to round your spine over the leg. And then extend the spine. Feel that deepened stretch. Round the spine. Tailbone and head drops down. Extend the spine. Tailbone and crown of your head lifts. One more time. Round. And extend and hold. Pull the right hip back. Relax the foot. Breathe. We're going to place the foot down and just slide that leg back so you're in your quadruped position. And back into our cats and cows. So exhale, round the spine, push into the floor, feel your shoulder blades pull apart, big stretch. Now inhale, extend the spine, your sit bones and the crown of your head lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend. One more time, exhale, round. Instead of extending, we're just going to lengthen to neutral. We're going to peel the left arm up, rotate up. Now thread your needle. Come down onto the side of your left arm and the side of your head. Even the weight out in your knees. Close your eyes and breathe into that stretch. Slowly start to pick yourself up, bringing that left hand down onto the mat. We're going to peel the right arm up, big rotation up, and then thread that hand under. Thread your needle. Come down onto the side of the head and the shoulder. Reach that arm across, an even weight in your knees. Deep breaths in and out. We're going to start to pick ourselves back up. Placing your right hand back onto the mat. We're going to round our spine again like a cat stretching. Big stretch up. Now inhale, extend, pull your hands towards your knees to deepen it. Now we're gonna keep our hips over our knees. You're gonna walk your hands out and think about lowering your chest as close to the ground as you feel comfortable. So again, we're getting that big work through flexing the hip and the shoulders. And then a nice passive deep extension through our spine. Deep breaths in and out. Tuck your tail under. Start to roll forward through your spine. So nice and slow. So you're still stretching as you roll forward. You end up in a kneeling plank, shoulders down. And then we're just going to walk our hands back. And we're going to sit back, feet together, knees wide. Reach your arms forward and rest the forehead on the mat. Deep breaths in and out here. Slowly start to restack your spine. That is the last thing to lift. And then we're going to go to our foam roller again. So let's go ahead and place the foam roller horizontal across your mat. And then we're going to place it right underneath the shoulder blades again, like we did before. We're going to repeat our passive extension. Then we're going to start to roll for the remaining 15 minutes of our class. So lace your hands together, hands behind the head, the base of the skull. Remember, we want to anchor into the sacrum, so anchor into the hips. You're going to allow your back to extend over the barrel. Let your head rest in your clasped hands, so it has something to rest into. And just feel any differences as you take this second one. Maybe it doesn't feel different. Maybe you feel like you're going back farther. You just feel more open. Maybe you feel a little sore in your mid-back from already doing a lot of extension today. Maybe you feel your hands touch the floor. Maybe your head touches the floor. So you're going deeper into your extension. So now we're going to start to lift the head using the arms. So you're lifting, you're keeping your neck totally relaxed. We're going to curl up and just kind of curl for a moment because we want to release, because it's a very big extension. So just curl to stretch out the muscles that we were just working. Walk your feet towards you. You're going to lift your hips up a little bit. You're going to roll the foam roller down your back. And then roll the foam roller up your back. And as you do that, I want you to lift your hips up and let your head go back. So you can bring that foam roller right to your shoulders. And then again, we're going to let the foam roller roll down our back. And then you're going to lift your hips up as it rolls up your back. So you're kind of pulling your knees up and over your feet. And then again, we roll down. You know, sometimes your clothes slide, so just adjust as needed. Right to the bottom of your last rib so you feel that pressure point. Now lift those hips up to roll it up your back. Let's do that 2 more times. You should feel really, really good. One more time. Once the foam roller's at your shoulder blades, I want you to lower your hips back down. Adjust so the shoulder blades are below the top of the foam roller, so you feel the hands where the back of your head would be, back of your neck. And then you're just going to release your hands so that the back of your neck is resting right on top of the foam roller. And we're just going to bring our arms down to our side for a moment. Get into a position, you might have to just kind of shift down a little bit so that you feel the foam roller right underneath the base of the skull. And then we're going to soften the heart down to the floor. So just resting right on the foam roller. And just make sure you're at a point where it feels good. Again, I'm kind of adjusting a little bit. So that's right at the base of my skull. That's what it was. My top was in the way. Now, what we're going to do is just kind of relax on here. It should feel really nice. So the shoulders are relaxed, the chest is relaxed, the head is relaxed, the neck is relaxed. Now we're just going to roll the head to one side. Right before it meets your ear, go to the other side. You're gonna feel this really nice massage right at the base of the skull as you roll side to side. And the key is to just keep everything very relaxed as you turn your head. You can close your eyes. And as I roll my head to the side, like right when I start to roll it, I feel this really nice pressure point. Everybody's skulls are made differently, so just find that pressure point. You might want to hold it there for a moment and then continue on. It just feels very, very good. Whenever I do anything where we're like massaging our forehead by rolling it side to side on the mat or doing this one, I always think mental clarity for some reason. So it's like just doing these little massages right at the base of our skull or at our forehead. For me, at least personally speaking, it always feels like it calms down my mind. It like clears my mind. Let's just do a few more. And coming back to center, let's take a deep breath in and out together. Bring your hands onto the foam roller, and then you're just going to roll to one side so the foam roller doesn't move, and then pick yourself up. Should feel really good. Again, it just feels like this is so relaxed now after doing such a simple thing on the foam roller. So we're going to sit right on top of the foam roller now. You're going to bring your hands behind you. We're going to cross just our right ankle over the left knee. And you're going to bring your weight onto your right hip. And we're going to start to roll up and down on the glute. So you might feel a little pressure point here also. It's usually where your piriformis is. You can tip more to the side. You can start to go in like a circular motion. You can just stay and go side to side. So just try a couple different motions. See what feels good for you. And we'll be here for a little bit longer. I'm going back into that circular motion, and now I'm going to go side to side. As I go side to side, I'm going to move the foam roller up, and then I'm going to let it roll down as I'm rocking. And then I'm going to go back to that circular motion, and then I'm just going to go up and down again. So we're going to come to center, sit up nice and tall on your foam roller. You can have your sit bones to this side of the barrel, not back here, so you don't feel like you're going to tip. And then just place your hands on the back of the barrel, and you're going to hinge forward. And you'll feel that deepened stretch in the piriformis on the right. Keep your hands back, keep your shoulders back. We're going to release the hinge and release the cross. And let's go ahead and do the other side. So the hands behind you. You're going to take just above the left ankle, cross it above the right knee. And we're going to shift our weight onto our left hip. So it's like the meaty part of your hip, your glute. And we're going to start to roll up and down on the foam roller. And then here's where we can start to play around. You can do a little circular motion as you're rolling. You can reverse your circular motion. You can go hold and do side to side. You're basically rolling towards your sacrum and then back to your greater trochanter, which is that bony part on the outside of your hip and leg that sticks out. You can go let the foam roller roll up as you go side to side and down. You feel that piriformis, you'll know when you have it because you'll just be like, whoa. You can hold it. And you can go back to up and down. So we'll just be here for another moment. We'll play around with how we're moving. And all we're doing is some little cross fiber friction on the muscles. Rolling them out real gently. I'm Going back to my circular motion. I'm going to hold where my piriformis meets my greater trochanter because it's a little sensitive on this side. So I'm just going to hold that for a moment, see if I can get it to release. And then go up and down. We're going to come back to center. And again, just kind of sit your body up. You can bring your sit bones to this side so you kind of feel the back of them on the foam roller. Hands behind you, nice and tall through the spine, and then hinge forward. Deep stretch in the left piriformis. Deep breaths in and out. We're going to go ahead and lift the body, uncross, bring your hands behind you, and extend your legs out. It's a little bit tough on the shoulders, so just kind of think about pushing your body up, keeping your shoulders back and down. And we're going to roll down the legs and then roll up. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Just roll out those hamstrings one more time. We're going to roll down and sit. We're going to roll onto our right side. I'm just going to move my foam roller down, and you want the foam roller at the side of the knee, above the knee. Top foot is resting on the floor. You can push against the floor so that you don't have a lot of pressure on your leg. Again, there's a lot of shoulder work in here, so we got to keep ourselves up. I want you to very slowly roll up the leg, the side of the leg. If you feel like your muscle wants to contract, push your front foot into the floor to ease off the pressure. So we're just going to roll up the IT band about 2-3 times. Ease off the pressure when you roll down. And then again, slow, we're going to go up. Back off if you feel your muscle wanting to contract, or if it's too painful, it will also want to contract. And let's do that one more time. Just right up the IT band today. And then let's go ahead and bend the knees, and we'll switch sides. No fancy way to get into the other side. Whatever way works best for you. I'm just going to go over my foam roller. And again, we want to line up that foam roller above the knee at the side of the leg. All right, remember this foot's going to give us our leverage to either ease up the pressure or make it harder. We're going to roll down or up the leg very slowly. You'll push your foot into the floor to ease off pressure to roll back up, or down, I should say. You're moving up, foam roller's moving down. One more time each, or 2 more times. And last time, everybody. Again, just right up the IT band today. Maybe go a little bit deeper on your third one. Just go slow. And very nice. Go ahead and kind of push yourself up. And we're going to have a seat on our mat with our legs straight out. Grab the foam roller with your hands like so. Flex your feet. You're going to reach that foam roller towards your feet. Flex the spine. If you can get the foam roller to your toes or to the bottoms of your feet, cool. If not, don't worry about it. We're going to lift that foam roller, scoop and roll down, shoulders down. Keep reaching your heels away from you as you roll down so you open up the hip joint. Take that barrel overhead, press your body into the floor and point your toes. Arms float up, draw chin and chest. You're going to lower the foam roller down to your hips and think about tracing your body with the foam roller to roll up. Tracing your legs. Flex the feet, reach towards your feet or past them. Scoop and roll down one more time. Reach your heels away, so we're opening up the hip joint. Point the toes, lengthen your body along the mat. Arms float up, draw chin to chest, and roll up. Flex the feet, reach past the feet. We're going to lower the foam roller down and then restack the spine tilt ahead. The arms can just slide along the mat as you do that. Awesome class, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this really nice restorative, stretchy class with the foam roller. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Happy Thanksgiving.